You're watching Cheery TV.
Howdy, everybody, and welcome to an autism test. Credit where credit's due. I saw Jack's films. Jack is a nerd. I saw that he uploaded a video called "I took the autism test. Did I pass?" I thought that sounds what? So I clicked in, and apparently it's like an online 80-question quiz, and I'm on it right now because he linked the test down in the description. And I figured, hey, I might as well take it. And I mean, I don't really know. I mean, maybe we'll see what the results are. But I just thought it'd be a fun little thing to do for the channel. And then I noticed, for the basic information, length 10 to 30 minutes, which is the perfect amount of time to do it in a speed run. So welcome to 99 Bottles of Speedrunning, where we race any game or idea or just general challenge to the tune of 99 bottles of beer. And hey, we're gonna see if we can do it. It's 80 questions, which kind of scares me, and it also kind of scares me that it says adults 16 plus. But I'm gonna hope that's because that whoever this company is, Embrace Autism. I'm hoping to God that you're in a European country. But you're on thin ice already, pal. You're on thin ice already. So yeah, so it's literally just like a test that asks you questions, you answer honestly, and it tells you, hey, maybe you got something going on in that little brain of yours. So we're gonna see if we can do it, and we're gonna see if we do it fast. The test is free, anonymous, and requires no email sign up for the results. My favorite type of test. So we're gonna click it. Oh, we're already here. Okay, so how about this? We're going to do the race. So I'm not going to try to overthink any questions. If there's 80 questions and I expect you to do it in half an hour, I can only assume that means it shouldn't be that difficult to get through. And time will tell if that is true. Let's begin, ladies and gentlemen, in 3, 2. We're going to use the old man one again. Just because it's the newest one that I have, and I love playing with my new little buttons. So, and in 3, 2, 1. Okay. I am a sympathetic person. Okay, so the answers are true now and when I was younger, true only now, true only when I was younger, or never true. Sympathetic person. I think I'm a sympathetic person, at least now. As a kid, I don't know, because there was like times where I genuinely felt bad, and then there was also times where I would like just if I made my sister cry, I would like shoot them up because I didn't want to get in trouble. But there are also other times. So I think I'm just generally a sympathetic person. I hope that I am. I often use words and phrases from movies and That's always been the case. There's never not going to be the case. Do we need to zoom in a little bit? We can zoom in a little bit. Here we go. I'm often surprised when others tell me I have been rude. I'm not. I don't know if I've been told I've been rude in a while, you know? So I think I'm just generally. I mean, if someone told me I was being rude to them and I wasn't like actively trying to be rude, I'd probably be very confused. So I would say, I mean, as a kid, I think rude was never an insult that I got. Usually it was smelly, stupid, something along those lines. I would be surprised all around if I was, yeah. Sometimes I talk too loud or too softly, I'm not aware of it. I tend to talk loudly until I don't, and then yeah, I'm not aware of it. That's at least true now. Back when I was a kid, it was just loudly. It was never too soft. I had to like scream on my words basically. So I'd say it's at least true now. I don't often know how to act in social situations. Not necessarily. Usually I just do. I mean, it depends on the social situation. I feel like a good answer for a social situation is to just go with the flow. If people are telling a joke, laugh, even if it's not funny. If people are saying something, just like, oh yeah, interesting. Oh, it's cool. Yeah, interesting. You gotta kind of gauge it. I don't always know how to gauge it, but usually I can gauge it. I don't often know how to act. I mean, when I was a kid, I don't know. I don't know if secluding yourself and just is I don't know. I'm gonna say never true though, because I feel like no. I mean, it's kind of true. Because like social, I mean, it depends on the social. No, I'm gonna say never true because I feel like once I can get a read of the room, I can kind of figure I can get there. I can put myself on people's shoes. Put myself on people's shoes. That is, I would say, pretty true. I'd say very true now. And I don't know about when I was young. I don't have enough time to think about when I was young. We're already at 77 bottles of beer. True now. When I was younger, I mean, I got it. So yeah, we'll rock it. I have a hard time figuring out what some phrases mean, like, you are the apple of my eye. You're the apple of my eye. It means, like, you're the center of attention, focal point, the thing they care about. I think that's ever been true. I think I can, 99% of the time I can figure it out. I was a good student. I did good in English. Until I had my AP English Literature and I got a 2 on the test. I only like to talk to people who share my special interests. Not necessarily. No, that's honestly never true. As long as we're not talking politics, I will talk to you about anything. Focusing on details rather than the overall idea. I'm a mix of both. I mean, it's not necessarily true. It's not necessarily false either, because I would do that with my friends if we were like talking about something, but then also we'll flip-flop the sides. Sometimes I'm thinking about the ideas and I see thinking about the details, vice versa. So I'll say true. I'll generally focus on details rather than the overall idea. I do like to focus on the nitty-gritty, what I need to do. So that's very true, I would say. I always notice how food feels in my mouth. That's always been true. And there's something that I'm not willing to admit to anyone just yet. Because no one's ever caught me doing it either. But I have some interesting food things. I miss my best friends or family when we were apart for a long time. Honestly, never true. Like, my brain just kind of takes whatever situation I'm in, and it's the norm, and that's what I go with. So, like, I'll be happy to see them again, and I'll happy to talk to them again, but, like, if I wind up not talking to people for a long period of time, because my brain just straight up is like, they're gone. It's how it is. Just kind of go with it. So I don't really miss them. Like, it depends on how close they are, I guess. But like, I have friends in Brooklyn that we've been kind of fading, and I'm like, we'll talk when we talk, you know. So I would say, honestly, it was never true. Sometimes I offend others by saying what I am thinking, even if I don't mean to. Sometimes, but it's not. I don't think. Definitely when I was young. But I'm usually a lot more careful about it now. I only like to think and talk about a few things that interest me. No, but I mean, it depends on what you define by interest. Because like sometimes things just wind up in my brain and I can't get them out. But usually when I talk, I'm talking about whatever everyone else is talking about, because I don't want to like intrude on the conversation too much. So it's like, I don't know. I would say for me, if I'm talking about something, it's probably pretty true. I would like for it to interest me, but I don't only talk about that though. So I don't know if I would say never true. But like, you're always gonna start with something that's interesting you, and then it depends on how the conversation goes from there. But I'll say true, because that's kind of a true thing for everybody. I either go out to eat in a restaurant by myself than with someone I know. Not necessarily. I like going out with people, but also I like going out on my own. I feel like it's like movies. I love going to the movies on my own, because I can just sit there and soak it in. But then if I'm with a person, I will still enjoy the movie, but I'm more there for the experience with my friends. So I'll be like chatting with my friends. Sorry, I'm a movie talker. Just kind of how it is. I mean, why did you go to a movie with your friends? You could have just all seen it separately and then came back to talk about it. Like there's no, all you're doing is just inconveniencing everybody involved. We are 51. We have to freaking hurry up. Rather go out and eat at the restaurant by myself than someone else I know. Not true. Not true. Cannot imagine what it would be like to be someone else. That's not true. I mean, I don't necessarily get it dead on all the time, but I do. I think I can imagine it. I've been told that I'm clumsy. I am a klutz. I'm an idiot. I'm an oddball. I'm a goof. Others consider me odd or different. I would say that is true, especially when I was young, and especially now too. Yeah. I've got interesting interests and quirks, I guess. I understand when friends need to be comforted. I mean, I can understand it, but I'm never good at it, and I thought I used to be pretty good at it. But I think my comforting was always trying to solve the problem, because then once the problem's gone, you can all be at ease. But I'm not the best at comforting, so I would honestly say never true, especially when I was younger. When I was a kid, my friends Well, my one friend that I
Nice,
tried to
nice,
help
that's nice. Now
fucking
it's only
hated my
$45
advice,
a
so
beer.
I
What
don't
am I
think it
doing?
was
What am I
ever,
doing?
it's ever, I was
I'm
never good
going
at
to
it.
start with
I'm very
this, and I
sensitive
tell
to the
you,
way my clothes
no,
feel when I
geez,
touch them, how they
$45
feel is
a beer on the wall,
important.
$45 a
It's
beer.
more important than how they. I mean,
It's
I'm a texture of eater. I'm not a texture wearer. I don't mind. It depends on if it's on my fingers. If it's on my skin, I don't really care all that much. But if I feel if my hands feel it, or my nails get on it, oh. But clothes in general, I don't think that's ever been true. But there's some clothes that I'm like, why would you wear that? But also, if it looks nice, I'm like, hey, do what you do. I had to copy the way some people speak and act. It helps me appear more normal. Not because it helps me appear more normal, but that's just because that's the easiest way to keep a positive conversation with somebody. No one's going to get upset at you if you're talking how they do, because they're like, oh, a like-minded person. Perfect. But I would say, I definitely now, but maybe not as a kid. But as a kid, I didn't really talk to anybody. You're very intimidating for me to talk to more than one person at the same time. Jesus.
I'm so sorry.
It could be very, yeah, you should be. It could be very intimidating for me to talk to more than one person at the same time. I would say, I feel like the more people, the better. But also, sometimes I wind up getting side viewed. But then I'm okay with that, because there's multiple people, they're talking to each other, and I can just kind of react along. So I would say that intimidating, kind of, but yeah, I guess. I guess that's what, I mean, I don't know, I assume you would call it intimidating if you feel more inclined to just sit back and not participate. I have to act normal to please other people, make them like me. Not as, I don't know. I feel like I act like myself around the people that I know, but then I have a very, everyone's got a life mode, a work mode, a vacation mode. They've got all these different modes about them. So that's just, I feel like that's just a thing. So what counts as normal? I don't know. I would say never true, because I feel like I'm me as this, in this situation. This is who I am about it. Meeting new people is usually easy for me. Never true. I like meeting new people, but I'm not the best at it, because I don't know how to start the conversation. I don't know how to, like, pull them in, but I'm good at, like, just the basic small talk, like, oh, hey, how you doing? It's a good day? Weather, you know? But, yeah, like, I'm not good at, like, I mean, I try, but I'm not usually very good at it. I get highly confused when someone interrupts me when I'm talking about something I'm very interested in. I get confused whenever anyone interrupts me, and it sucks because I interrupt people all the time, so it's both ways, brother. It's difficult for me to understand how other people are feeling when we are talking. I feel like I have my assumptions, definitely when I was younger, but nowadays I feel like I am a little bit better at, like, reading people. Like, if someone's, like, seems upset by what I said, I'm like, ah, shit. So I feel like I can get that. I like having a conversation with several people, for instance, around a dinner table. I like having conversation with several people. That's very true. I'm just not good at it. Take things too literally, so I often miss what people are trying to say. It's a mix. It's definitely a mix. I can be very oblivious to the actual meaning of things sometimes, but then there's other times where I'm like honed the fuck in and I understand everything that we're trying to talk about. When I was younger, I was pretty bad at it, but I don't really take things too literally nowadays. So I think that's definitely when I was younger. It's very difficult for me to understand when someone is embarrassed or jealous. Yeah. Because I mean, like, embarrassed maybe not. It just depends on if I can put myself in their shoes. But like, jealous definitely. I don't think I can read jealousy. Some ordinary textures that do not bother others feel very offensive when they touch my skin. Depends on what ordinary counts as. But generally, I don't know. I need examples, because there are some that really bother me. But I touch things and they're just kind of like they don't like eke me out. They just kind of like, oh, that's weird. So I'd say never true. I get extremely upset when the way I like to do things is suddenly changed. Ooh, that's too true, brother. Just, I mean, I have a bigger example of, like, new management just came into my store, so like it kind of, they're trying to change stuff and I don't like it. But I get really upset. I really don't like it. But like, it's getting better. I've never wanted or needed to have what other people call an intimate relationship. I've never wanted or needed to have. Okay, an intimate relationship. I've had one. Nowadays, like, back when I was a kid, I wanted it. Nowadays, I do not give a shit. I'm me, bro. I don't really need another person next to me. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that would be nice, but then, like, after an hour of, like, waking up and having that dream where I was with somebody, it was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm pretty chill. Like, I'm content here. This is good. So I don't need that. difficult for me to start and stop a conversation. I need to keep going until I'm finished. Yeah, because then I will immediately forget what I was talking about. I speak with a normal rhythm. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. It's like, I'm actually, no. I would genuinely say no. Actually, I kind of understand what that means, because there's times where I just like falter, like this thing I'm trying to say just disappears out of my mouth and I just stop talking. Or like I'll just say everything too fast. When I was a kid, I definitely spoke way too fast. So yeah, I understand what that means now. Same sound, color, texture can suddenly change from very sensitive to very dull. What does that mean? What does that mean? I mean, yeah, if you get used to something, it get like with apples. When I eat apples, they used to be I was very sensitive to apples. But the more I introduced myself to apples, the more I kept eating apples, they became just normalized texture. So I would say true now, but I wouldn't. But not suddenly, not suddenly at all. The phrase "I've got you under my skin" makes me uncomfortable. I've got you under my skin. I don't like the thoughts of putting things in my skin, so I would say true, but not as a kid. Sometimes the sound of a word or a high-pitched noise can be painful to my ears. No. I mean, yeah. Yeah. But, like, it's not, like, I don't care about moist, but there's, like, I think I have a whole strand of deep in conversation from years ago talking about like ointment and just other dumbass words. So I agree. It's just not usually the words other people think. I'm an understanding type of person. I understand things. I understand how life is. It's crazy. I do not connect with characters in movies and cannot feel what they feel. Depends on the type of movie. Rom-com, I'm in there. I'm in there for it. Superhero movie, horror movie. I don't get scared at horror movies. That doesn't work for me. I do not connect with characters in movies and cannot feel what they feel. I feel like I would say never true. I would say never true. I cannot tell when someone is flirting with me. That has always been true. It's not been often, but whenever it was happening, I did not clock it, and I had to be told. I can see in my mind exact detail things I am interested in. I think we can make it work. Exactly. I mean, that's like aphantasia shit, though. I don't know, but I can never. I don't know if I have aphantasia because I can never tell. I feel like when I'm like about to pass out, I've got a very like visual memory, like a visual brain. When I'm sleeping, I have dreams. But like when I'm in, like if I'm trying to like picture an apple in front of that screen, I can kind of do it, but I don't see it like other people feel like they do. At least they sound like they do. So I see in my mind exact details of things I'm interested in. I would say never true. I keep lists of things that interest me, even when they have no practical use. I did that a lot as a kid, and I do not do that now. At least I used to like, I would spend hours, and I would, you know what, no, I would say true, both things, because I would do it again. I spent hours, like, making the Plants vs. Zombies, like, a plant, like, encyclopedia book. I, like, drew it into, like, a notebook. I remember I went on the Wikipedia for when I first got Minecraft at the Xbox 360, and I wrote down every crafting recipe into a book, and I organized it, and I sorted it, so that way everything was like, it was like my own little encyclopedia for Minecraft, and it was immediately outdated, so I couldn't even use it, but I spent weeks on that. So I would do that again, so yeah, I'm there. When I feel overwhelmed by my senses, I have to isolate myself to shut them down. Yeah, definitely at least now. Definitely now, because even the other day I had to like get out and go to the break room and just chill for a minute. I like to talk things over with my friends. I like to, they don't like to. You're not so if someone's interested or bored with what I am saying. I usually don't care, so that's fair. I say true to that. But I mean, is that when because I mean, if they say they're uninterested, or like they look a little bored, sometimes I can tell bored, but also people's faces aren't always what they're thinking, so. It can be very hard for someone to what were you about to say? Miller Lite. Okay, thank goodness he stopped at Miller Lite and he's dead. So we ran out of time. I only got through 44 questions, y'all. This is crazy. I think, do we run it back just to finish the quiz? I feel like we failed. We failed epically, but I want to finish the quiz. So I think we're just gonna run it back. We're gonna do it again. We'll put on a different one though. We'll put on the standard, just to chill out, and then we'll finish the quiz and we'll see what happens here. So, did I manage to complete it in time? No, but hey, we're gonna keep going. So let's keep at it. So this is just a standard, lovely, juicy beer on the wall. It'd be very hard to read someone's face, hand and body movements. Hand movements are easy. I hand movement all the time. I love hand movements. But body movements, like they're doing this. Why would they be doing that while they're talking? Maybe I do that, honestly. Have you ever heard to read someone's face? Yeah. Face, definitely. Hands, not really. Body, maybe. Kind of depends. But face, definitely. I'm not a good face reader. I'm not a good face rememberer, either. The same thing, like, clothes temperatures can feel very different to me at different times. Very true. I mean, temperature especially. There's, like, right now I'm sweating, but this weather, a week ago, I was like, oh, yeah. Is nothing. Now I'm like pretty sweaty. I wasn't sweating, but yeah, this is just strange. Clothes? Maybe. I feel very comfortable with dating or being in social situations with others. Why is dating in there? Dating, I don't think I could really do anymore. I don't know. I just don't. I mean, I feel like maybe it would really have to be. So I'm not like a go just blindly find someone to date. Like I would want it to be someone that I know for a while. But obviously that takes time, and I would already be in social situations with them. So the dating part is just I don't know. I feel very comfortable with dating or being social. I mean, I would say. I don't know. I have to say never true because I don't think I would be right now. But also, as a kid, I was definitely not comfortable with dating. It was a bad relationship. I had one relationship. It was no harm, no foul. I mean, there was parts to blame on both sides, I'll say, but it was just a very bad relationship. I try to be as helpful as I can when other people tell me their personal problems. Helpful, absolutely, but like I'm not good at like sitting there and just like saying, ah, shit, that sucks. I'm not good at that. I've been told that I have an unusual voice. Yeah, that's happened so many times. Not like flat. But it's like I don't know. People just tell me I talked weird like for a while, especially in child. Because I was like a late bloomer with puberty. Like I was in like second year of high school, and I was like, I talk like this, and everyone was just like, I got shit for it a lot, but not a whole lot of shit. Just like a couple like just rude assholes in some classes would be rude about it, but that was about it. Sometimes a thought or a subject gets stuck in my mind, and I have to talk about it even if no one is interested. Yeah, that's usually how me and my friends talk. It's them not talking, me thinking, and then I find something in my brain, and I'm like, oh, hey, let's talk about this. And then they don't seem to give a shit, but I'm just like, I'll talk anyway. I do certain things with my hands over and over again, like flapping, twirling, yeah, of course. Who the fuck doesn't? Like, I am constantly doing something with my hands. Right now, it's clicking things with a mouse, so, like, very stimulated. But yeah, like my hands like to move. I'm not like a very stress ball person or a squeeze ball person, like a fidget toy person. But just like yeah, like if I pluck off a string or like one of my nails falls off, I'll like fucking play with it for a little, for like forever until I drop it and lose it on the ground. I've never been interested in what most people consider interesting. That's not true. No, that's never true. I love it. People, I mean, like it's not everything, but like it's. When someone says there's something interesting and I'm interested in it, it's great. I love that. It doesn't happen all the time, but like I usually at least like show interest. I'm considered a compassionate type of person. I've never asked that question, so I don't know. So what do I even answer here? I don't know. I mean, I like compassion. I'm gonna need a definition of compassionate quick. Define compassionate. Compassion is an adjective that describes someone who's deeply empathetic and caring towards others. I think that sounded about right in my brain. I care about other people, and I've always cared about other people. So I'll chill with that. I get along with other people, but I think I care more about people now than I did as a kid. As a kid, I was kind of just like I cared in theory. Now I care just in general. I get along with other people by following a set of specific rules that help me look normal. I get along with following a specific set of rules. Well, that's just being at work or like being outside. It's like, hey, yeah, follow the laws. Don't be a dick. Everyone follows specific rules. And everyone's got their own couple. Like, oh yeah, just like don't talk about this. Or like, be careful around like with this. Don't do this. Don't have X many drinks and stuff. Like everyone's got that sort of like thing going in their brain. At least I assume. It is very difficult for me to work and function in groups. Definitely when I was younger. Nowadays, yeah, I like doing things myself. I'm a very big solo or no-lo kind of guy. I do things all on my own. And when I get help, it's appreciated, and I can, like, if someone offers help and like someone wants to work together, I can do it. But like, it's not as easy and then just doing it myself. At least for me, personally, thinking about it. When I'm talking to someone, it's hard to change the subject. If the other person does so, I can get very upset and confused. You know, I've never thought about it, but yeah, because like, there's been times where I'm hanging out with my sisters and like we're talking about something and I'm about to like mention something, but like they went over it and then they were done and then they moved to the next thing. And I'm like, well, shit, I didn't get to, like, say my piece. And I kind of get a little bit of resentment in there. Like, it goes away fast, because, like, I don't really, like, I'll find something to talk about with his next conversation. But very is a strong word. But I can get upset a little bit. Not a whole lot. But, like, definitely, like, to a point where I'm like, ah, dang it. I missed my chance. And I'm in my head about it for a minute. Sometimes I have to cover my ears to block out painful noises, like vacuum cleaners or... No. Man, when I was younger, yeah. But, like, nowadays, it's kind of just noises are noises. And, like, if it's, like, a really bad one, then maybe. But, like, I haven't had to do it in a while, so I don't think so. I can chat and make small talk with people. I agree. True now. Not when I was a kid. But nowadays, like, I have a lot of, like, I do retail, so, like, I'm always talking with people, so I've kind of figured out small talk pretty well, and I've got a lot of people who are like, hey, oh, you're here, that's great. Like, I feel like I've made a lot of, not friends or acquaintances, but just, like, I've made people happy in my environment, so that's pretty fucking awesome. Sometimes things that should feel painful are not. For instance, when I hurt myself or burn my hand on the stove. Yeah, I mean, I guess. True, yeah. I mean, the amount of times I've, like, cut my, like, toe open on something and be like, ooh, then it's, like, it doesn't really, or, like, recently, every time I try to grow up my nails, inevitably one of them I smack on something and, like, it completely cracks and, like, digs farther in. I don't feel pain, but everyone's always like, ooh, that sounds like it hurts. That looks like it hurts. I'm like, it's nothing really. If I'm in an environment with other people, definitely true. If I'm on my own, it's kind of, my brain can focus on it more, so that I'm like, oh, that sucks. But, like, yeah, usually it depends on how many people are around, I guess is the answer to that. When talking to someone, I have a hard time telling when it is my turn to talk or listen. We're halfway down with the song. When talking to someone, I have a hard time telling when it's my turn to talk or to listen. True. I usually just want to get what I have to say out. But, like, I can listen, but then also there's usually an awkward pause while I'm waiting for them to keep going, but then they're like, oh, you can talk now. I'm like, ah, shit. I'm considered a loner by those who know me best. By those who know me best, I would say no. I would definitely say no. I think the people who know me best know that I like people. Like, I like seclusion as well, but I like people a lot. Probably a lot more as well. I usually speak in a normal tone. I don't know what that means, but also my voice can kind of change rapidly, depending on how much sleep I've gotten, depending on when I'm talking, and depending on how much I'm talking. I don't know, because, like, I can kind of go down here if I'm just, like, casual. But then also from casual, I can kind of go up here. There's, like, I've kind of, like, two different, it depends on how relaxed I am. But, like, I don't know, it kind of depends. It really just depends. So I don't know if I can say true, because I definitely know that I have two different tones that I talk in on occasion, and they kind of flip-flop between each other. I like things to be exactly the same day after day. Even small changes in my routine upset me. I like things to be. If I can have a consistent, like you know, like Squidward with the canned bread and the little town and that shit. If I was my life, I'd be all for it. But small changes don't necessarily upset me. Usually, small changes can be, like, interesting. Depends on how what the change is. Like, if I see a lizard on my walk to work, incredible. If my walk to work has been, like, I have to, like, go over a block because that's, like, been blocked off, I'm like, that sucks. But then, like, it adds time to my walk, and I want to get to work on time. It depends on what the change is, but I would definitely say true. How to make friends and socialize is a mystery to me. That's true. Because I definitely the make friends part. I don't know how to do that anymore. Yeah, I think it just happens naturally. For at least for me, like I just talk, and then they talk, and then the more we talk, the more friend. But I don't know. It's like how to make $1 million in a week. You know, it's like I don't want to do that, but like there's people who do. People have like a whole class for it, whole things dedicated to this, and I have no idea how we're talking about. It calms me to spin around or to rock in the chair when I'm feeling stressed. I pace. I definitely pace, and then sometimes I rock. Like I'll rock on this a little bit. I don't rock. I have a brother with like severe autism, and he rocks. He rocks. But I don't rock to that extent. But I do rock a little bit. Definitely when I was younger, and I would say now too. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. The phrase "he wears his heart on his sleeve" does not make sense to me. No, because it's like his emotions are out for the world to see. You know, like he's not hiding anything. But like I think it used to confuse me. It used to confuse me because when I was a kid, I didn't understand. I honestly didn't get it. But like nowadays, it's like, oh yeah, he wears his heart on his sleeve. It's just like a thing to say. It's like, oh yeah, someone's very out there. I think. I hope. If I'm in a place where there are many smells, textures to feel, noises, or bright lights, I feel anxious or frightened. I don't smell things very good. If it's coffee, I hate it, but I don't feel frightened. Textures to feel, I love those little texture books, so I don't know how true that is. Noises or bright lights piss me off. They don't make me anxious or frightened, they piss me off. Noises are like whatever. I would say never true. I would honestly say never true, because especially I grew up in a city, so that shit was just kind of consistently happening to me, and you kind of just got used to it as you grew up. I can tell when someone says one thing but means something else. Like if someone says great job, but they don't think you did a horrible job. I try to take people at face value, and I can typically I'm very, whatever the last thing someone said to me is, that's how they are with me. And that's kind of like, if someone says like, oh yeah, have a great day, then I like walk out of that situation and be like, oh yeah, they're happy with me, all is good, we're positive. When I see them again, we're that same exact stride. Then when it changes, I'm like, oh, well, I thought we were chill. No, I would say I don't. It depends on how obvious they're being, you know? But, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna say never true. But no, because I can get sarcasm. I get sarcasm. I understand sarcasm. I've always understood sarcasm. I like to be by myself as much as I can. That's true. I do like to be by myself a lot. Not as much as I can. Like, I'll make plans with my sister. But, like, I love to be by myself. That's when I can do things. But also, as of, like, lately especially, I've been, like, way too in my own head. So I've been trying to, like, just be with more people and just be outside, but I do like to be by myself a lot. I keep my thoughts stacked in my memory like they are filing cards, and I pick out the ones I need by looking through a stack. What the fuck are they talking about? I keep my thoughts stacked in my memory? That's impossible. A memory pops into my brain. A memory someone tells me something, or we're in a conversation, a word that they say goes through my brain, bing, and it spits out a memory that I'm like, oh shit, remember that one time? And then, yeah. Definitely not a filing cabinet. The same sound sometimes seems very loud or soft, even though I know it has not changed. That's kind of true. Definitely, at least now. I can't say for when I was younger, because I don't remember. But I mean, I've got tinnitus too, so like it doesn't. At least this year, I got tinnitus. And like, yeah, I mean, there's sometimes where like someone's talking. It depends on where you are, you know. Because like if I'm talking like this now, that's probably pretty normal. But if you're like in a library, it's pretty loud. So it's like, yeah, it really depends on the place you're at. I enjoy spending time eating and talking with my friends and family. Very true. Very, very true. Love people. I can't tolerate things I dislike, like smells, textures, sounds, or colors. I don't dislike any colors, I don't think. There's some sounds that I don't like, and I get genuinely, like viscerally angry sometimes, depending on the sound. Textures, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I would say true. But if you dislike something, why would you tolerate it, you know? Like, if I'm in a room that smells like shit and piss, I'm not gonna tolerate that. No one should tolerate that. I don't like to be hugged or held. Never true. Never true. I like a good hug. Depends on the person, and it depends on how long it is. that's in a 1-2 combo. And then also why the 1-2-3 combo. Why am I being hugged? How long am I being hugged? Who am I hugging? That's the 3 questions you gotta ask every time. We have 6 bottles. When I go somewhere, I have to follow a familiar route, or I can get very. I am horrible at if I have to like change my route. And the amount of times I've gone one way, had to go another, and I get lost. The amount of times I try to give instructions, but the instructions like directions, but they have to be slightly different. I have no clue. I have no clue where we're going. It is difficult to figure out what other people expect of me. True now at least. But yeah, honestly, it's true in general. People expect a lot, I feel. At least I thought people expected a lot, but now I don't know how much people expect. But I still think it's like a bit. I don't know. I feel like for a long time, I thought I let people down in my life because of where I've gone and what I've done. So I don't know. But I don't know. I never talked about it or asked. So I would agree. I like to have close friends. Yeah. I preferred a couple of close friends over like 100 just casual friends. People tell me that I give too much detail. Yeah. Like when I'm trying to explain a thing at work, they're like, you kind of like ease up on it, you know? I'm often told that I ask embarrassing questions. I don't think that's true. I don't really ask questions. I usually like to say things. I don't really ask things very often. And I tend to point out other people's mistakes. No, hell no. I'll note it in my brain, and I'll be like, okay, that happened, but I'll fix it, or I'll like just adapt around it. I'm not gonna try to make someone feel like shit, you know? Oh, no, I tried to join you.
Oh yeah!
Okay, well, that was another round of bottles, and I managed to finish the test in like over half an hour, so I definitely took too much time. But we're gonna see what my score is, everybody. We're gonna see my score. We're gonna see just how well a couple bottles of beer song times could have possibly given me my impact and relations there forward of. I can't talk. Let's see my score. Da-da-da-da-da. Total. Is that 0? Is 0 good? Oh. 139. Oh, that's a really okay. I don't like that number. I don't like how odd it is. It's not like it's like a 500 out of 1,000 or something. It's 139, not out of anything. I don't like that at all. I think that's kind of scares me. It's like, well, shit. What does this mean? I have to like dig deeper. Language subtotal is 8. I don't know what that means. Social relatedness subtotal is 58. Sensory motor is 40. Circumcised? I thought it was. I was like, how did it know? Circumscribed interest subtotal 33. I don't need a PDF of this. I can just. Here, I'll take a screenshot quick. I'll print screen this puppy. Bada ding. There we go. There's my Rads test scores, everybody. What does this mean? Can I see what this means? Oh, here we go. What is this? Interpretation. Okay, so we had what? 139. 139. Let's see. 139 is here. Your response shows stronger alignment with autism-related traits and may warrant fuller clinical interpretation within the context of your broader life experiences. And it was like kind of up there. Like it was 139. It was on the higher echelon of that. Really? Very strong alignment with us. So I was only 13 points away, or 11 points away from very strong alignment, but I'm still in here. Many people in this range explore further through additional screenings or structured autism screening to better understand their experiences. Some newer research has suggested higher thresholds, such as 121, may improve specificity in certain clinical populations. What does this mean? Higher thresholds? So they're saying 121 is like a... So are they saying... Higher threshold, so like 121 to 149 means that they're showing stronger alignment? Well, I'm still in that freaking alignment, bro. It doesn't. What am I supposed to do? The thing is, though, and I will say this: the main reason I even did this like on here is because I think of this more as a spectacle. I don't think it's very. I don't. If it is accurate, I mean, more power to the test. It knows me, but I mean, I am content with the way I live my life. I don't think knowing this would really answer anything for me. 'Cause I don't really have a lot of questions. I kind of just am existing. Like, I feel lucky enough. That's where I don't think I have, like, because a lot of people, when they say they've been told they have autism, it makes a lot of sense. It answers a lot of questions for them. For me, if I was told that, I'd probably have more questions. Because I feel like I've generally, like, figured myself out. Maybe not to, like, the fullest degree, but, like, I don't think I don't usually, like, think, like, damn, I don't belong here, or like, damn, I don't understand what's happening here. Usually I'm just in my own head, kind of just going with whatever the day throws at me. So, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, if I'm being serious, I feel like I don't agree with the test. Not that I don't, like, if I am, if it is correct, I'm not gonna, like, fight it. I'm not gonna get, like, upset. I'm not upset over the results here. I just think that, um, for me, it doesn't. I don't know. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I just feel like, if that's the case, cool. If it's not the case, cool. Like, I'm pretty good. um, Yeah, because, like, people, I guess it's like we're trying to better understand their experiences, which makes a lot of sense. People who don't understand what's going on, people who, like, need an answer, I'm very happy something like this exists. I just don't think I need an answer. I've never really worried about it. Oh, I have these things. Okay. Okay, so I imagine the more points, the worse. Well, not the worse, but, like, the more autistic trending it is. So my language skills are no one's seen a damn thing. I don't believe that first. Did you hear all the sentences I made? How you communicate and interpret things, taking things literally, missing implied meaning or tone, needing more time to process conversations. Yeah, I don't really feel like I need to do a lot of that. So I agree with the language thing there. Social relatedness or relatedness. Feeling out of sync in conversations can happen. Not knowing what's expected socially can happen. But usually, I feel like I've got a grasp on it. But, like, at the same time, it's just kind of whatever happens. I don't know. Finding social interaction effortful or confusing. Sometimes, definitely. Because, like, social interaction effortful. Sometimes I want to say something, but it's like, I just shouldn't. I know I shouldn't. I should, or if I guess I think I shouldn't, or I think I should say this, and then it doesn't go well. If I tell a joke to somebody, and it's either a pity laugh or it's not a laugh, I feel like shit. Like, if they just kind of, like, disregard it, I feel like I just literally, like, ruined everything for that whole conversation and experience for everybody involved. So that counts into that. Sensory motory. Sensitivity to noise, light, textures. It's mostly light for me. Mostly light and some noises. Textures aren't too bad. Movements aren't too bad. But also cracking knuckles, if that counts as a movement, I despise that. It freaks me the fuck out. Even though I do this. I put a little bit of pressure on, like, where my thumb is over here. And, like, and I kind of crack it. Everyone else freaks out with that. And my sister, the way they bend their fingers because they're, like, double jointed in the fingers. Oh, it's terrifying. Feeling overwhelmed in busy environments. Yeah, but but I mean, that's what busy is. Like, right? Like, am I crazy? Repetitive movements or needing physical regulation. I thought I said regurgitation. Repetitive movements or needing physical regulation. I mean, that's just repetitiveness is just great. That's just a positive thing. You gotta, if you have a consistent thing down, then that's freaking awesome. It makes things easy. And then how you focus and engage with interests, deep sustained focus on specific topics, strong need for routine, and difficulty choosing attention once engaged. Yeah. Test is not a diagnosis. You can determine whether you're autistic. And I said, and you can, not and cannot. So to say, I can? That's crazy. It reflects patterns in your responses, not in your full life context. Not all autistic people score above the threshold. Not everyone who scores above the threshold is autistic. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, granted, I feel like there's at least a little bit of something in there for me because, I mean, I've got, I mean, when we were, like, babies, like, our family doctor told my mom that all of my family showed
autistic traits when we first like were growing up, except for my younger brother who has autism. So like that's kind of just crazy. So I feel like there's definitely something in there as we grew up, but we kind of just were able to, you know, figure it out. I don't know if that's the right word for it. It's probably not. But you know, we kind of like worked with it instead of like having it work us. Maybe is that the right way of putting it? I don't know. I will. There was something I was gonna say before with like the whole like the diagnosis part kind of being scary for me. Because I feel like for me, not knowing is so much better than knowing, because then it's just a guarantee. You know, there's no real like can't deny stuff. You can't really like pretend that it's not an issue. Like for me, no, well not for me. I don't have nothing's wrong with me. But there have been times where like I felt scared and like I felt like weird just pain somewhere, or like, you know, like a bump somewhere, and I would think, "Oh gosh, I have like this disease. I have like cancer and shit." And like if I granted though, no, I disagree. I disagree with what I'm about to say, because I was like I would rather just not know, which is true if I don't have it. Which is true if I did have it, because every time I've felt something like that, I went to the doctor, I got it figured out, and we discovered it was nothing to worry about, which is like, thank goodness, it's nothing. But it being nothing does not mean that I didn't get it confirmed to ease my worry. But I feel like I don't know. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just gonna delete whatever the hell I was just saying. I'm probably not gonna delete it, but I'll just like disregard it because it's just not true anymore. But maybe for like this at least, and for like things like those DNA tests at 23s and me's and stuff. I don't really want to know, bro. Like I don't need to know any of that. What's it matter? It's just people, man. People are people. But yeah. So everybody, I scored a 139. I really don't know how. I feel like all of my answers were like, I don't know. They just didn't feel like there was they felt very normal, if that makes sense. Everything I said, I felt very normal and okay with saying. I feel like if I took the test again quickly here, like true speed run, I might get a whole different thing. 'Cause I don't remember half the things I said. I don't remember half the questions. And I don't know how I would answer them again. But yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 99 bottles. It's actually 198 bottles, so take with that what you will. Grain of salt, all that jazz. I'm going to leave now. But you have a fantastic rest of your day. And if you want to give this test a go, I will link it as well in the description. And thank you to Jack is a Nerd, Jack's Films, for giving me the idea. Because, hey, it's pretty good. And I will link his video as well. I'm going to go watch it now, because I actually haven't watched it. I saw the idea. I didn't want to spoil myself with the questions before I took it. And now that I've taken it, I'm going to go watch his video while this processes and downloads to the YouTubes. So, thank you everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.